fun of me, think I'm crazy, tell me who made it. It's a very good work, tell me who made it. So Newton looked at him and said, if you think that a model cannot be created by itself, why do you think that the actual system was created by itself?
If you give me if you give me 90 seconds of time, I should. This lovely gentleman brought on an interesting point. I don't know his name. The gentleman over there. Yes. Excuse me, Rabbi Silverman. Yes. Rav Soloveitchik, who tolerated me so long as I kept my mouth shut for many, many years. Essentially speaking, we learn as follows. We learn in the Gemara Masechta Shabbos Daf Nun Hey, and also in the Sanhedrin Samach Dalet. Nun Hey, because 5 is an immutable number. You can't divide it. It's a fixed principle. Masechta Shabbos Lasois is a Shabbos with the Leisim, for mathematical terms, that the seal of the Kadosh Baruch Hu is Emes. In terms of the justice system, we have Emes Din V'Shalom, Emes Din V'Shalom. We have a Choshe Mishpach halachically, which is absolute objectivity of the Shulchan Aruch. Rav Soloveitchik said that the scientist as well as the religionist must strive for truth. Rav Soloveitchik asserted, quote, when the religionist confesses ignorance, statements of absurdism characterize the religious perspective. Neither rationalistic complacency, nor agnostic despair, nor mystical rapture will solve the problems of modern Jewish man. Then the Rav gives his definition of halacha, which is the objectifying instrument of the religious consciousness. And the Rav said as follows, that the halacha is the act of seizing the subjective flow and converting it into enduring and tangible magnitudes. The Rav said that the halacha is an amorphous flow from which the religious halo is cast. It is qualitative and quantitative. Big Bang, quantitating the Big Bang. It is qualitative and quantitative. It is a transcendental act by which the fleeting individualistic experience is converted into fixed principles and universal norms. If we take a look at the end of the Rav in terms of this quote, if we take a look in terms of the Brisker Derech, which clearly negates Hasidic philosophy, which the Rav totally opposed, Ratzon Hashem is an objectivity. We are in a relative environment by virtue of the fact that we can't, says the Rav, that we can't get close enough to emulate the positive characteristics of the Eibishter, nor in terms of Brichim and Hatuma Ish V'Chama, run away from the negative characteristics, which renders only the Kodesh Baruch Hu himself as an absolute truth. This is you'll get to it, Mr. Stepper, as you get there. This is how the Kodesh Baruch Hu delights in our changing our minds and our creativities. And this is all from the Rav. It's not me. I don't have a mind.
Very good. Thank you for this quotation. So let me sum up and say that modern science is the science of model. It's not the science of the absolute truth. And science cannot give any answers, as I mentioned initially, about first what is absolutely true and what is not. And secondly, it cannot give you any idea about what is moral or not, what is wrong and what is right. And the attempt to use it for this purpose is brought it to disasters in the beginning of the 20th century. For example, it's kind of downplayed our times, but there are a lot of pictures. Professors of German universities salute to Hitler. Some of them didn't do it because they were forced to, but they believed, for example, that if evolution is true, who said it stopped? We're also subject to an evolution, and that can bring you to terrible conclusion about relationship between different races, and can be used to support racism, and so on. So this concept can give you a way to understand that science is good. However, it per definition cannot challenge religious or philosophical view. Another way, your religious or philosophical view is a matter of your choice that cannot be proved or disproved by science. In other way, you can choose that the world is created, and that's why, by the way, there is a purpose to this creation, which may or may not have impact on your life. That's your choice. Or you may choose to believe that it's not true. It's a matter of your personal choice. It has nothing to do with science. The second conclusion is that we maybe can learn something from the fact that scientific view spread it so quickly and became so popular. One of the rabbis that I learned from used to say that atheism is like it's the janitor in the forest, like the wolf in the forest. That it, the wolf in the forest kills primarily weak and sick deers, and that's why it maintains the population of the deers who run fast. That's the ecological definition. So atheism, as he said, used to kill or destroy religious systems that were not adapted well enough to modernity. And that's what we can learn from it. Maybe not being open enough to self-criticism, not being philosophically intellectual enough, and that's changing. And that changed because of the atheism. And there was a very nice article by Rabbi Polonsky that I used called Religion in the Post-Atheistic Society. And there is a book written by a physicist called Phenomenon of Science that I also used, who brings it up. In summary, it's a matter of our personal choice, whether we believe in Creator or not. It has nothing to do with science, and it's a big mistake to use science to prove or disprove it. I like discovery seminars. It's always interesting to see how the contemporary science relates to our religious views, but I don't need science to prove or disprove it. Thanks.